Hello, and this is QTV News. I am Amudu Kajaga. Thank you for joining us. Now we look at the main news headlines. Following reports of fuel leakage and a fire incident at the GAM Petroleum Storage Facility depot in Mandinering, Petroleum and Energy Minister Abdoulaye Diop visited the facility on Tuesday. The Gambia and Equatorial Guinea have formalized bilateral cooperation with the signing of agreements including reciprocal exemption of visas for holders of diplomatic and service passports. The 5th medical team from China landed at the Banjul International Airport on Monday as part of the People's Republic of China's support for the Gambia health sector. In commemoration of World No Tobacco Day today, Dr. Desta Turuni, the WHO representative in the Gambia, has called for concerted efforts in the production and use of tobacco. Following reports of rising tide of road accidents, drivers in the North Bank region have added their voices to those expressing concern over the frequent occurrence of fatal road accidents. Those were the main news headlines, and now the news in detail. Welcome and thank you for joining us. This is QTV News. Following reports of fuel leakage and a fire incident at the GAM Petroleum Storage Facility depot in Mandinering, Petroleum and Energy Minister Abdoulaye Diop visited the facility on Tuesday to assess its impact and to familiarize himself with the operations there. Aliou Cissé went along, and this is his report.
Minister Abdoulaye Diop arrived at the GAM Petroleum for his first official visit and engagement since he was appointed as Minister of Energy and Petroleum. He was received by Yero Jallow, General Manager of GAM Petroleum, with his senior management and board members, who later took him on a tour of the facility. The reported fuel leakage and minor incident at the facility had been fixed before the ministers arrived. For security and safety reasons, cameras and mobile phones are not allowed into the main facility, including the boiler room where the fire spark occurred. The minor incident occurred after heated oil from the boiler container spilled on the heated pipe, igniting a spark on the dry grass behind the boiler. Officials confirmed that the boiler was not affected as the fire was quickly put under control. A new boiler is also currently being installed to complement the existing one to increase operational capacity. Regarding the leakage of heavy fuel oil from one of the vessels into the river, the minister was informed that it is the first time such an incident has occurred and was due to failure on the walls of one of the free supply pipelines to contain the spillage due to corrosion. This problem has also been fixed. These offshore underwater pipelines run over 2 kilometers into the ozone, from where vessels supply fuel products to these GAM Petroleum tanks. Meanwhile, new steel pipelines have been purchased for installment. Yero Jallow, General Manager of GAM Petroleum, welcomes the minister's visit as he gave him a brief overview of the facility, of which the government is a major shareholder. Jallow used the visit to appeal to the minister to consider a mobile firefighter ambulance for the facility in the next budget.
GAM Petroleum have a capacity of 51,000 metric tons combined, and we have a gantry. The facilities is combined. It has a combined facility that we use to deliver the services. That is the tank farm, which you have there, which is 17 tanks, and we have a gantry, which is this one. That's where the delivery of fuel to the lorries that come to collect takes place. And then there is what we call the CBM, the mooring services, where the vessels discharge the fuel through our pipelines into the tanks. So these are the three most important units of our assets.
For Minister Abdoulaye Diop, GAM Petroleum is a strategic national security asset, and its functionality is key to government, the importance of which demonstrated by his visit.
You know, given the age of the facility, I am very much impressed in the state in which the facility is. There are improvements ongoing, but by and large, you know, the facility is in good shape. We will encourage them and push them to do whatever is necessary to address the challenge.
In a similar engagement, Minister Diop also visited the new General Petroleum Service, GPS, a private fuel storage facility, which was commissioned in January this year. It is located a few meters from the GAM Petroleum Depot in Mandinari. It stores gas oil and gasoline and has a 30,000 cubic meter storage capacity with 6 tanks. Minister Job was impressed with what he found and assured them of government support to ensure fuel price stability and availability. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
The Gambia and Equatorial Guinea have formalized bilateral cooperation with the signing of 4 cooperation agreements, which include establishing diplomatic relations and the reciprocal exemption of visas for holders of diplomatic and service passports. As Aliou Cissé reports, First Lady Fatouba Barrow also participated in a peace forum of African First Ladies.
Cooperation agreements were signed by the respective foreign affairs ministers of the Gambia and Equatorial Guinea at the Presidential Palace in Malabo, where President Theodore Obiang Nguema Basogo and First Lady Constancia Mange de Obiang received President Barrow and First Lady Fatouba Barrow on the sidelines of the just-ended AU Extraordinary Summit. The joint agreements signed by Foreign Affairs Ministers Mamadou Tangara and Simeon Oyono Ange are the establishment of diplomatic relations between the Gambia and Equatorial Guinea, a cooperation framework agreement, an MOU on diplomatic consultations between the foreign ministers, an agreement on reciprocal exemption of visas for holders of diplomatic and service passports. The two presidents discussed their determination to lay strong bilateral cooperation between Banjul and Malabo for the mutual benefit of both countries and their peoples. Presidents Barrow and Obiang promised to move from commitment to action to implement agreements signed through the exchange of delegation visits. President Barrow commended his counterpart for his role in resolving the 2016 post-election impasse, which saw ousted former President Yahya Jammeh move to Equatorial Guinea, where he has been taking refuge since January 2017.
We are very grateful. During this impasse, we needed support to make sure we maintain peace and stability in our country. Without peace, we cannot develop our continent, Africa. We are now ready for partnership moving forward.
It is not clear yet whether the issue of ex-President Yahya Jammeh was discussed during their lengthy closed-door talks. Nonetheless, President Barrow told QTV on his return to Banjul that there was no engagement on neither TRC white paper nor on the issue of Jammeh. The Gambian leader and his delegation were hosted to a lunch by their host before returning to Banjul. In a different but related engagement, African First Ladies, including the Gambia's First Lady Fatouba Barrow, gathered in Malabo, Equatorial Guinea, on the sidelines of the just-ended AU Summit to add their voices to the promotion and sustenance of peace on the continent. The African First Ladies Forum was geared towards complementing the African leaders' efforts in ensuring peace and development on the continent. The First Lady of Nigeria, Madam Aisha M. Buhari, President of African First Ladies Peace Mission, called on our fellow First Ladies to use their platforms to help end conflicts and promote peace in their respective countries and the continent in general. Madam Constancia Mange de Obiang, First Lady of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea, also hosted a follow-up meeting of the African Women Leaders Network with the launch of a national chapter in Equatorial Guinea. The network is an initiative of the AU Commission and UN to advance peace and development on the African continent. The network is led by Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, former president of Liberia, in collaboration with other prominent women in Africa who seek to enhance the leadership of African women for the transformation of the continent following the AU Agenda 2063 and the UN Global Agenda 2030. The network serves as a platform to galvanize women's leadership toward lasting peace and sustainable development and the promotion of gender equality and women empowerment at all levels. Reporting for QTV News, I am Aliou Cissé.
The 5th medical team from China landed at the Banjul International Airport on Monday evening. They are part of the People's Republic of China's support for the Gambia's health sector, from which the country benefits every year. Mahmoud Lamin Choi reports.
This is another example of practical assistance by the People's Republic of China towards the Gambia's health system. In what has become an annual demonstration of support since May 2017, China has sent its 5th medical team to the Gambia. The Deputy Director of Health Services, Dr. Mamadou Tinyasi, receives the medical team on behalf of the Health Ministry.
This is going to be, as I said, is going to be a booster to what is already existing, what we have already in the systems. Though we have a lot of medical personnel, but it's not enough. So with their comment, obviously, they are going to feel a very huge vacuum. Because if you look at patients to doctor ratio or patient to nurses ratio, is very huge. So with their comment, obviously, they are going to reduce the gap greatly and immensely. And, the queuing to wait for one doctor, obviously, is going to reduce, obviously.
The medical team comprises 9 medical doctors who specialize in anesthesia, general surgery, gynecology, orthopedics, pediatrics, Chinese traditional therapy, obstetrics, and other specialties. The medical team will provide healthcare services in the Gambia and train health personnel at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital.
They are almost always at EFSTH, but sometimes their services are needed in various hospitals. Like if they are needed in Kanifing, they will be called to come and assist, or if they are needed in Bundum or Brikama, they are always called to go and sometimes they do organize medical treatment in Bansan. So these are some of the contributions the medical team from China has been contributing to our health ministry.
Dr. Zhang Xing is the visiting team's leader. On behalf of the team, he expressed excitement at being sent to the Gambia. Dr. Su looks forward to the health team contributing to the well-being of Gambians and to improving the friendship between Banjul and Beijing.
It's a long journey to the Gambia. Although I'm very, very tired, but when I'm coming to the Gambia, I'm very excited to the beautiful country. We will do a lot of health work to improve the Gambia people's health problem.
On behalf of the Chinese embassy in the Gambia, China's Economic and Commercial Counselor Luo Wenjun gives an assurance of China's continued support to the Gambia's health sector through such interventions.
The Chinese doctors will be shifted, but the Chinese medical teams will stay here forever. And I think that we are 2 nations, but we are 1 people. Thank you very much. Today the arrival is the 5th one. We will continue, work together with our counterparties.
China's support to the Gambia's health sector dates to 1976, when both countries signed a joint protocol on sending medical teams to work with the Gambia. From 1977 to 1995, China sent more than 200 medical personnel to the Gambia. This support resumed in 2017 and is continuing. This new medical team will replace the present batch in the country, whose mission in the Gambia began last year and will soon end. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, QTV News.
From that report by Mahmoud Lamin Choi, now we go for a commercial break. And when we return, we still have some more local news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
The Gambia's Goods Market is back again for 2022 season of Reju remarkable variety of locally sourced products by young innovative Gambian entrepreneurs in fashion, accessories, handicraft, health and beauty, and agro-processed and local foods. To see innovative and creativity at work, visit the Gambia's Goods Market every first Saturday of every month at the GT Bank Senegambia branch premises starting from April 2022 to August 2022 from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. to own any number of quality and standard products at reasonable prices. This year's monthly market will highlight an additional display of skills and raw talent, providing entertainment and demonstrative art, featuring cultural and modern dances, drumming, hairdressing, photography display, as well as live mind-blowing paintings. We are proud of this entrepreneurship revolution in the Gambia. This is powered by the Gambia Youth Chamber of Commerce and the Youth Empowerment Project. Yep.
Welcome back, and thank you very much if you're just joining us and those who are listening to us on Q Radio as well. In a statement marking World No Tobacco Day, celebrated on May 31st each year, Dr. Desta Turuni, the WHO representative in the Gambia, has called for concerted efforts in fighting the production, use and impact of tobacco. More in this report by Ansumana Isonyasi.
The theme for this year's celebration is Tobacco, Threat to Our Environment. Commemorated globally on the 31st of May each year, the day celebrates global efforts against tobacco, amplify the campaign against its use, and to serve as a reminder of the dangers associated with tobacco use. In a statement marking this year's commemoration, WHO country representative in the Gambia, Dr. Desta Turuni, says this year's theme is apt and reminds us all the environmental impact of the tobacco industry, adding that it gives tobacco users one extra reason to quit.
Every year, tobacco kills more than 8 million people around the globe, and the harmful effects of tobacco on human health has been well recorded and studied. However, what may be less understood by the general public is the impact of tobacco and tobacco production has on the environment, which can be equally detrimental to the human health, if not more.
WHO reports estimate that 1 in every 10 African adolescents use tobacco. This is despite over 20 African countries instituting bans on smoking in public places and a further 35 banning tobacco advertising, promotion and sponsorship. Dr. Turuni therefore calls for concerted effort in the fight against what he describes as a menace negatively impacting the environment and human health like no other.
It takes cigarettes about approximately 10 years to decompose, allowing time for nicotine and other chemicals to leak into the surrounding ecosystems. And who bears the brunt of the environmental burden for all these actions? That will be the developing nations, who are also the ones with limited resources to deal with such environmental calamity.
Dr. Turuni also expressed WHO's admiration for Gambia's achievements in the fight against tobacco use, citing the enactment and administering of strict tobacco control laws.
So remarkable is the Gambia's effort that between 2000 and 2018, the Gambia was awarded the WHO's World No Tobacco Day Award on 10 different occasions for its outstanding tobacco control efforts, and has been heralded across the world for its successful national efforts to combat tobacco consumption.
Meanwhile, he gave an assurance of WHO's continued partnership with the Ministry of Health, especially in protecting the environment and people's health in respect to tobacco production and usage. He also encourages government, activists and the media to continue amplifying messages against tobacco use. In the days leading to this commemoration, following a clampdown by Ministry of Health officials, 22 people were arrested and are to be charged for open displays of cigarettes on sale. Ansumana Isonyasi for QTV News.
Following reports of rising tide of road accidents, drivers in the North Bank region have added their voices to those expressing concern over the frequent occurrence of fatal road accidents. This report by Don Williams is narrated by Churchill Balde.
There have been reports almost daily of accidents in the North Bank region as well as elsewhere, many of them claiming the lives of drivers and passengers. Yusuf Marong, a well-known and now retired driver in the North Bank region, spoke to us about his concerns.
The first problem is that they are giving licenses to unqualified drivers who don't know how the traffic works. Therefore, only competent drivers should be given a license. Another problem is talking on the phone while driving. This can cause serious accidents because you cannot concentrate. The government should advise drivers to be more careful of that. The speed bumps or sleeping police installed here are very effective. We don't have to shout at drivers anymore to reduce speed, and our animals are not killed by vehicles. So, it will be good to have them in all parts of the country.
Katim Diba, the president of Drivers Union North Bank East, had strong views about the cause of frequent road traffic accidents.
The cause of accidents are because of young drivers, motorcycles and bicycle riders. We must be careful because there could also be persons with disability walking by the roadside. Drivers don't even look at the road traffic signs anymore. They just drive.
Ibrahim Marong, who used to be a driver, had concerns about underage and seemingly underage boys riding motorbikes and said, when he was a driver, the roads were bad, there was less traffic, and there was less accidents. However, now there are good roads and lots of accidents. Alhaji Fodenjai, the PRO of the Drivers Union North Bank East, was another to mention the importance of the sleeping policemen, saying, if possible, they should be deployed every 3 kilometers. Talking about the police, he said, they are really doing their best. He also emphasized that drivers should always apply common sense and know that they are dealing with lives. Another concerned driver had this to say about how the conditions of some of our roads contribute to frequent accidents.
The problem is the way they construct our roads. They don't put reflectors or rule a white line in the middle of the road. So, drivers cannot see properly at night, especially when an oncoming driver is on full beam, because the tarmac is black.
Gambia remains high on the list of countries with fatal road accident numbers. There continues to be a lot of debate and discussion. However, it remains to be seen how much action will be implemented to remedy the situation. For QTV News, I am Churchill Balde.
For this year's Africa Liberation Day, also known as Africa Day, the students and ex-students of Kuntaya Basic Cycle School commemorated the day by organizing an educational forum on the theme Pan-Africanism for Sustainable Growth. Dawn Williams has more in this story.
African Liberation Day, also called AU Day, is an annual event commemorated on the 25th May to mark the founding of the Organization of African Unity, OAU, on 25th May 1963, which was later transformed into the African Union on 9th July 2002. Kuntaya ex and present students gathered to be addressed by various important personalities about African Liberation Day. Ibrahim Aboy, the guest speaker, and former Secretary General, Social Sciences and Humanity at the UTG and renowned poet, spoke on the topic Pan-Africanism in relation to the youths.
You know, the African Liberation Day, in my eyes, I see it as a celebration of the heroes who fought tooth and nail to bring joy and liberation to Africans. Those are the people we celebrate. To me, that is why we should celebrate as African Liberation Day. But if we are talking about us being free from dictatorship, if we are talking about us being free from the circles of struggles, if we are talking about us being free from poverty, if we are talking about us being free from bad governance and leadership, then this is not a right day for us to celebrate. Let's face the brutal truth.
Adama Jimba Job, the Deputy PAM Secretary at the Ministry of Education, also addressed the gathering.
I feel very much honored today, also as an ex-student of this very school that I attended 40 years ago. Mr. Chairman, my topic is not about the Liberation Day, but education and cohesion. Let me start by talking about what we meant by education, whether formal or informal. Education implies teaching of knowledge, skills, values, morals, beliefs, habits, and personal development. That's about education. But it could also be referred to as the social institution through which society offers its members with relevant knowledge and skills, basic facts, job skills, cultural values or norms, just to name a few. It could also be taken as a gradual process which brings about positive changes in human life behaviors.
Esa Bukar C, Deputy CEO, Gambia OIC Secretariat, advises the students.
Sa jangani, sa mauni, ko bara jini konata,
He said, if you don't go to school, if you are going to Bara and then be carrying those heavy loads, he said, there is nothing like I am C, I am Ka, I am Joe, I am that. If you are not educated, you are going to be the carrier of loads for society.
Africa Day is also an opportunity to reflect on the progress made by the African Union in achieving its goals, especially regarding protecting the human rights and freedom of Africans. Don Williams reporting from Kuntaya.
Well, that's it for QTV News tonight, but don't forget to join us at 10 for another bulletin. Thank you.